Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk. So this is a contest video. JJ 22 explosive hits. So he's really into the KTEL records. So his contest is KTEL themed. I have to admit I don't have any KTEL records, but I do have a whole bunch of College Music Journal (CMJ) CDs. So this was a magazine that was around in the 1990s, early 2000s. They would have a CD sampler every month, and I discovered a lot of bands that way. Like the very first time I ever heard Alanis Morissette was on CMJ. Of course, you only needed the radio; you still would have heard her. Discovered Lauren Hoffman on CMJ CD. They didn't play her on the radio, but it's actually better than Alanis Morissette. But okay, let's get into the contest. Letter K. King Curtis live at Fillmore West. So this is a recent Vinyl Me Please in their classics this series. So King Curtis was the leader of Aretha Franklin's band, um, and um, and so I mean this is just obviously just such a great band. Um, they played. Um, this has a lot of like standard songs. There was like Whiter Shade of Pale, Whole Lot of Love. This was recorded in 1971. Mr. Bojangles, but in that soul style. Um, and so this is great stuff. Unfortunately, King Curtis uh, passed away. I think it was literally a few weeks after this record was made in an automobile accident. Letter T. This is Richard Thompson. Mirror Blue 1994 album. This was an album I had inherited. Um, and it was one of the ones when I looked up on Discogs is actually one of the most valuable records in my collection. I was kind of surprised by that. I think it might have to do with the fact that it was 1994 when vinyl was on the doldrums and CDs were king. Letter E, Justin Townes Earl, The Good Life. So this is Steve Earle's son, singer-songwriter who unfortunately passed away. He had his problems with substance abuse, so he passed away last year. But he was very good in sort of your folk Americana realm. And then finally, the letter L. So one of my very first videos I ever made in their latest record is great, latest Rekkid is great series is Local H Lifers. And so this came out in 2020. Local H is a two-piece sort of alternative hard rock band based out of the Chicago area. If you've heard of them at all, it was probably for their sort of minor hit in the 1990s, Bound for the Floor. You just don't get it. You keep it copacetic. But I think this is an amazing album, and so I wanted to plug it again. So that's KTEL, King Curtis, Richard Thompson, Justin Townes Earl, Local H, and so if you want to know more about KTEL, go watch JJ at 22 Explosive Hits.